Hey. Alright. Welcome back to Case Closed. Yes, this is the Case Closed video. Last one, first one I did. That was my part because I was thinking about Case Closed. This is episode number 251 of the Anime Review series. This one we're discussing episode number 1141, Mouri House Sits. The Mouri family house sits. Yes, it's an original episode where a literary critic hires Mouri to house sit his house for some house sitting and feed his cat. Also, he can eat any food and drink he wants in the house. And he gets paid really well. Fine. And of course, basically Ran and Conan come along because, of course, why not? And they come to his house and it's a Japanese style mansion, of course it is. He goes off to the countryside someplace with a rolly suitcase. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that because that's a normal thing. Heck, I've gone to many airports and that's a very common thing to see. Because people travel, people use that type of suitcase nowadays. People don't use like suitcases with handles, you carry them through airports. Like, have I seen that when I've gone to airports? Very rarely I have. Occasionally I might see those, but very rare occurrences. So yeah, he goes off for a 3-week weekend. Of course they drink, and of course they... Oh yeah, he can't transfer the cats in place because he gets anxious. And it's a fat cat. The cat's fine. And then they get three visitors. First, a guy who's really having an argument with him over something. It says, oh yeah, come the 13th, and the day comes, and he's gone. And after explaining to him, he leaves. And then an editor shows up, a female editor, which for some reason the animation decided to have her basically stand there with her eyes closed. Like, how can you see with your eyes closed like this? Like, squinting. Yes, as far as I can tell. Now, I have nothing against basically if... Now, here's the thing. I've seen Japanese actors in live action. They don't do that. They don't squint. From what I can tell, the whole... What looks like the eyes closed, as a matter of fact, they can see. That's the animation choice on the part of Japanese animators. They love doing this. Case Closed very rarely ever uses this type of thing because everyone has their eyes open. So she plays a minor role in the final part of the episode. So she comes by, apologizes, but he's not there. And then like, oh, we got another visitor. A police officer shows up. Like they think, oh, maybe it's like somebody else. Like, no, it's a police officer because they got an anonymous tip that, oh yeah, there's a body buried in the yard. And he of course he explained before he left that the area where they found the body in, that's where he was going to build his library. This was a bit confusing for me with this one. So did someone knew he was buried there? I don't know. It's kind of weird here. So yeah, then we have Mouri. Excuse me, we have Takagi, Keba, and McGuire. McGuire doesn't really do much anything in this episode. He's just there. It's mostly Keba and Takagi doing a legwork, which no surprise there. So then of course the guy comes back after begun like a day. He was only around for 3 days. He had to come back because oh crap, there was a dead body in my yard. And of course he claims innocence in this. He identifies the body as a noteworthy novelist. And his wife identifies him. Yeah, it's who he says. And apparently they had disagreements. He's also been a harsh critic of his, where he kept criticizing, except for his newer stuff. As for why he did that for, that's kind of explained at the end of the episode. So then they try to figure, and of course he's suspected of murdering him, and he's like, wait, maybe someone's up. Maybe it's the first guy came by. Nope, he had an alibi. Second one, not much motive anyways. Like, why would she... Now, what the editor was basically pointing out as named as well as suspect. But here's the thing. For one thing, she could have killed him. Yes. But as for burying him, picking him up, I highly doubt it. I mean, she does look like a strong woman anyways. I mean, she's probably well respected as an editor, but muscle-wise, probably won't be able to pick her up. Pick him up. So, yeah, and then the Conan easily figures out basically who's responsible. Mouri suspects it's the wife, because they suspect that, oh, maybe insurance played a role? Not really. But she did play a role in the murder, indirectly. So after Conan knocks up Mouri, points out the actual murderer is the critic, the one who hired him. Now this one was very confusing. So he kills the writer, and then he buries his body in the very area where a library is going to be built. Like, why would you pick that spot for? That was never explained. So, and he thought he killed the writer because basically, well, he threatened him. Turns out he had nothing to do with it. It was his wife. She issued the threat. Now, she may have got basically a slap on the wrist for this, but the critic got arrested for murder. Yeah, it's basically he killed him for no reason. Oh yeah, and the threat? Oh, she had found old manuscripts from a new author contest, and for books they're really bad. Now, according to Rand, despite the fact he was the thing is, it would have not hurt his reputation at all when these books come out. And the reason why, because he built a reputation. But because of murder, he ruined his reputation. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it all takes on his word. I mean, critics basically tend to have they put their opinions on stuff. It doesn't mean if it's just for writing, like for novels. There's also critics for comics, wrestling, sports. There's critics for everything. It's been around since basically as long as I can think of. So, kind of a strange episode. Now, as for the guy who they thought first suspecting it and then throwing off suspicion off the other people, that's a common reused trope in Case Closed. I've seen it happen several times in the course of the series, especially in anime original episodes. That oh, the guy who hired him to do this and investigate this turns out he's the one who actually did it in the first place. I'm like, then why did you hire him for? Oh, and after they get arrested, we need somebody to take the cat. And they found a house really quickly to take the cat. The fat cat. I wouldn't be surprised if, in fact, that they put the cat in a diet. Because the cat's real lazy. Yeah, kind of a okay-ish episode. I did like the premise of it. With the whole body buried in the front yard thing. That's even happened in American fiction. You know, a body being found in the yard of someone's yard of a house. Yeah, that's perfectly natural. That's even American fiction as well. And I believe that's happened in stuff I've seen for the UK stuff. So, it's a very common occurrence in fiction to do that. So, I had, as far as I could tell for Case Closed, a body being found in someone's front yard. As far as I could tell for this series, that was the most original thing related to this whole episode. The whole thing of the first suspect who they thought was suspect, but he was framed, and it turns out he was a suspect. That's not original. That's how I feel about it anyways. Yep. So yeah, that's basically a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the dislike button. Well, next up is an episode I've been really looking forward to. I first saw this episode like 2 months ago. The title of it. I'm like, oh yes, I gotta check it out. So, got a Case Closed episode to do, and then ReZero, and I probably have a stream afterwards. Okay, for next video. Bye.